And here I am in Mullaghmore, a beautiful little fishing town on the west coast of Ireland, just above Sligo. Dominating the vista around the corner from here is a place called Classiebawn Castle. It's now privately owned, but once was owned by the Mountbatten family. Lord Louis Mountbatten, the Earl of Burma, the last Viceroy of India, and the great-uncle of Prince Charles holidayed here at his Irish residence, Classiebawn Castle, every year along with friends and family. His time was spent writing, hunting and fishing. He was also a prominent figure at Mullaghmore Pier, tending to his wooden fishing boat which was called Shadow 5. He would head off into the North Atlantic to lay lobster pots and return the following day to marvel in his catch. On the 27th of August 1979, Mountbatten decided at breakfast in Classiebawn that the conditions were perfect in order to retrieve their haul, so off he went with 6 others, including the young boat boy Paul Maxwell, to the pier, where they embarked on their fateful voyage. The 29-foot boat was well known amongst the locals, but was equally known to the IRA. 50 pounds of gelignite had been planted underneath the boat the previous day in a second attempt to assassinate Mountbatten. Approximately 300 yards from the shore, the bomb was detonated remotely, killing Mountbatten, his grandson Nicholas Knatchbull, Lady Doreen Brabourne, who was the mother of Mountbatten's son-in-law, and Paul Maxwell, the 15-year-old local boat boy, who earned the gig to work on the boat that summer, and his death in particular sparked outrage amongst the community. Amongst the survivors were Mountbatten's daughter Patricia, son-in-law Lord John Brabourne, with their other son Timothy, who was a twin to Nicholas. The IRA said they had chosen Mountbatten as a high-profile figure as well as an easy target, not helped by his lack of security, and referred to his death as an execution. The event was so shocking, the world's press descended on the tiny harbour and set up their operations centre here in the Pierhead Hotel, which continued for many weeks. In fact, also that day there was a separate ambush in Warren Point, some 120 miles away, killing 18 British soldiers, but the press had decided this story was their headline. The village of Mullaghmore was shook, as was the world, and the IRA had successfully delivered their message, as well as instilling fear into the British population. Yet despite this incredible vista, it's unimaginable to think what happened here just over 40 years ago. As a mentor and confidant to Prince Charles, the Prince referred to Mountbatten affectionately as Dickie, and claimed he was the grandfather that he never had. In 2015, Prince Charles visited Mullaghmore with his wife Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, as a way of reconciliation, but the irony here is that Mountbatten made many phone calls from Classiebawn advising Charles to stay away from the then married Camilla. With Thatcher as Prime Minister for the UK, she withdrew political rights from all IRA prisoners, referring to the organisation as a criminal rather than a political body. The IRA responded in turn with a hunger strike. The leader of this retaliation was Bobby Sands, who died from his hunger strike in prison on May the 5th, 1981. This signalled a raw and dark period ahead for England and Northern Ireland.